I think a big tip that we would have was about the importance of data and information to drive decisions, and Jody talks about the importance of data. It created visibility of our communities in South East Queensland. In fact, we didn't know each other. We didn't know about the huge growth in population. We particularly didn't know about the huge shift of the population away from where our services were. So just how yawning these gaps were that we were talking about wanting to close. So having data collectively compiled, so data that sat across 4 organisations and overlaid with census data, we were able to paint some fairly bleak pictures which kind of straightened everyone's backs. When we started talking about politics, we talked about the cost of politics, and it's not being able to deliver on your objects, and that is responding to the health needs of our communities. This huge growth that's occurred over the last 5 years has meant that we were irrelevant to the conversation, to be honest, about addressing health needs in urban South East Queensland. And so whilst we might have started the movement, we've got a really rich history that we share across those 4 organisations. The burden was a pretty heavy one when we realised that if we didn't make some fairly fundamental shifts, if we didn't challenge ourselves, then we could be the ones that could have been on our watch that we didn't continue the mission. And I think that was really good pressure that was put on the network. But again, using information to be able to keep everyone accountable. We talk about in South East Queensland there's a bit of friendly competition about how organisations perform and how clinics are functioning and how boards also conduct their business too. And to be able to create this kind of peer pressure, which isn't an external accountability to funding bodies, it's created an internal accountability to ourselves, but particularly also to our communities, because we report everything we do to community now. We make sure that the report card that we produce is delivered to every single member of our AMSs across the region in the lead up to AGMs. We get on the radio and talk constantly on Aboriginal media. Our community days are huge opportunities to engage community. So the ability to report back on what's happening, to be able to present data to ourselves and also to community, creates an accountability, which is what we say is the building block of community governance. And that would be a tip, the power of data. And no one can argue, and I dare any government to argue, because a lot of the data we collect, they don't. And the quality of their data is nowhere near as clean as ours. So we present data which demonstrates a return on the investment, creates an accountability, which means that we must continuously improve. And that then creates the true sense of community control, that it's our communities that control our agenda, that we're accountable to them. Our government's a funder, but they don't own these organisations.